Hey everyone, Carl here with Literate Lessons, bringing you not really a deep dive as so much just a meta review this week. We had Salt Lake City over the past weekend, and there was a lot of things happening that we weren't quite ready for, I would say, in the format. There was the discovery of the very powerful Sun team, which had kind of been doing well, and just showed off its power at Salt Lake City. There might have been some cool rain team features coming up. I saw Aaron Traylor's Kartana based rain team without Zapdos, and I thought that was really cool. And then probably talk about a few other things in the format, talk about some other noticeable stuff and whatnot. But before we get into all of that, make sure to hit that like button, ring the bell for notifications for when new videos go live, smash that subscribe button, go check out the merch page, link will be down below. We've got hats and shirts and stickers and all that kind of stuff. If you're interested in showing off your LRL support, would love it if you can go and visit that page for us. So Salt Lake City offered a very good look into what Series 12 is kind of starting to become. We talked about it a little bit on the podcast and some other past deep dives here, where I think the format is starting to finally slow down and bulk out a little bit. And we saw that evident with these AV Groudon teams with Gastrodon and Grimmsnarl, and trying to kind of just bulk up in front of opponents and use Charizard as your Dynamax target to blow things up. This is the exact same 6 that Joe used, and the winner Chongjun, and some other people probably in Top Cut. There's been some variations on this team too, we've seen Porygon 2 in this spot, in this Grimmsnarl spot, we've seen people using Landorus instead of Incineroar, trying to change, not be completely dead to Kyogre with a bunch of fire types and ground types, but I think that this 6 overall is the best version of the team. Usually it was AV Groudon, super hyper offensive Charizard. You could play Iron Ball or Light Clay Grimmsnarl depending on your set. Shuka Berry Incineroar to help against the mirror for Groudon. Leftovers Gastrodon just to be annoying and stall. And then obviously 3 attack, protect, super damagey Zacian. I believe you were getting to the 186 or something like that. Or something like that, and then enough attack to hit the first bump, and then playing some bulk so you didn't just die to a Zacian mirror. This team does really well for being a ground, fire, water, ground core for the most part. I think Gastrodon is your biggest leverage point for the rain teams. I think you can easily just bring Grimmsnarl, Groudon, Zacian, Gastrodon to every rain team, and you're going to win that game 90% of the time. Honestly, I played this team a lot. I played this 6 a lot. I have my own version that I've been goofing around with. I've shared it in the Discord multiple times. This team is nuts. It's gotten two different accounts to 1500, and it just does everything you want it to do. I've got some cheeky stuff on here Helping Hand, Life Orb, Charizard. I'm Scary Face, Light Clay, Grimmsnarl. This needs to be Throat Chop, not Darkest Lariat. There we go. And then just standard Gastrodon, standard Zacian. This Groudon set is the important thing. So Groudon, this bulk on this Groudon is insane. 164 HP plus the special defense means you live every hit from whatever. And if they have a very powerful water type, they switch Kyogre in and just try to max Geyser, you just bring Gastrodon in and just eat it. And they can never safely max a water type in front of you. Which forces the rain teams, they're going to have to adapt to keep up with this, because if you don't adapt, this team is going to push you out of the format. I think this team is the most solid, consistent team that you could probably play. I'll have a paste of this one down below. No limit on this one. I've been handing this one out for free to everyone, so if you're interested in playing with this one, take it, run with it, have fun. This team's pretty much been figured out for a while now. I don't think you'll have too many issues running this one on the ladder. Next up on the docket here, I wanted to talk about the Rain teams. We did see a Rain team in the finals in the hands of Aaron Traylor. This one is kind of what I thought the future of Rain teams were going to be before Zapdos just showed up and was running the mirror and everything. Because I thought Kartana was just really, really good. Like, you never have to worry about a fire type. You beat up opposing Kyogre, you're not weak to Zapdos, you beat up opposing Seismitoad, and it just never really took off until now. This is Aaron Traylor's exact 6 here. I don't have sets or moves or anything for it. Kyogre, Indeedee Female, Kartana, Whimsicott, Zacian, and Incineroar. I think this is the future of Rain. I think this Kyogre double Grass, double Steel core is how you're going to beat the Sun teams. And it kind of comes down to just what you use as your grass types and how you use your support. In this situation, they didn't want to use Rillaboom because they had Indeedee and they wanted to utilize that to stop like Grimmsnarl and Fake Out and things like that. So I think this is a fine idea. You could also just play Tornadus and Rillaboom if that's something you're interested in. But I think having double Steel, double Grass is going to be probably the most important thing you can do on your Rain teams right now. Zapdos just does nothing into that new Sun team unless it's literally lined up in front of Charizard and Charizard doesn't get to do its thing. That's the only situation Zapdos is good, and that's it. They had carry double ground, so you're never really hitting anything very, very hard. Zacian doesn't really care about the airstreams coming out of it. So you definitely gonna have to adapt, I feel like. You could play Kyogre, Tornadus. This could be Ferrothorn or Kartana. Whatever grass type you want in here. Serena is something I've seen popping up here lately again. It's been fairly good because it also just stops Fake Out and priority stuff going into your team, but allows your Incineroar to clap them every once in a while. Zacian here just does really, really well. So I think that this is the future of Rain. If this team gets figured out, I think this will be, again, the team to beat. And then the Sun team will adapt and it'll go back and forth for a while. But overall, I think we're going to see Weather Wars probably for the foreseeable future in Series 12. Next up, I wanted to talk about the Dark Horse. The team I had picked to win Salt Lake City did not have a very good showing, and I'm not sure exactly why. Reading up and doing some research and talking to people and things like that who were there, no one really wanted to see this type of team. No one really wanted to see the slow Trick Room, Calyrex, Ice, and Palkia teams. I guess, a combination of they didn't practice for it, they weren't ready for it, they thought it was very, very strong, and no one really brought this outside of Wolfie. Wolfie had a Pheromosa Dusclops to fill out this core, which I think was just a little too cute in my opinion. Dusclops isn't that great when Yveltal's running around. Mimikyu is just superior in every way to Dusclops, being able to take at least one hit. So if you can redirect away one, Mimikyu's going to get to do its thing. And so, overall, I think Wolfie was just being a little too cute. He did finish top 32 still, but I think that goes more to saying how good of a player he is compared to how good the team was. But why I thought this team was going to do so well is just the restricted duo destroys both weathers. The Sun team has to really work to try and get in a position against Calyrex Ice. If you just lead Indeedee Mimikyu, the Sun team has no answer to stop that Trick Room going up. And if Calyrex Ice is in the back, Calyrex Ice will tear through everything, or Palkia will tear through everything. And so I feel like there's a really good line here for these Trick Room teams to just walk up and take an event in the coming future. Recording this before Liverpool, we could see Calyrex Ice Palkia just destroy Liverpool. But overall, I think that this is the future of Series 12. This is where we're going to be eventually, trying to figure out how to beat Calyrex Ice and Palkia with all of this redirection. The reason this team does so well, everyone's first argument I've heard is, well, Zacian hits Palkia for super effective, it hits Calyrex Ice for super effective, it just destroys this team. You have to get through the redirection first in order to do that. Like, Amoonguss eats Behemoth Blades left and right. You can spec your Indeedee to survive Behemoth Blades. Like, both of these Pokemon also survive Play Rough. So, your Restricteds being weak to Zacian, it is an argument, yes, but it's really hard to get to them through all this redirection and support they have behind it. You are kind of pigeonholed into maxing your Restricteds here, which isn't a great option most of the time, but I think that's just part of how this team is going to have to operate, especially with the Trick Room. You want to take advantage of your most powerful Pokemon when they're fast in the Trick Room mode, and so I think this is kind of where you're going to have to lean and utilize this to the fullest effect it can. Before I head out of here today, I want to talk a little bit about some of these underutilized Pokemon I think that could pop up here in the near future. Rillaboom Gmax specifically is a really good one. This thing can destroy opposing... This thing can destroy just about anything with Gmax Drum Solo, as long as it's like a super effective hit of some kind. Overall, I think that this will probably start to see more play on the Rain teams than Kartana. I think Aaron Traylor's team was just like a one-off thing that synergy worked really, really well, but I don't expect it to be the future. I think Rillaboom is going to probably show up more than Kartana, mainly due to the fact that you are only have two times weaknesses instead of 1 4 times weakness. Groudon doesn't get to do as much damage to you with like Fire Punch and or Heat Crash. I think you can use Assault Vest to Dynamax and maybe survive one hit from Charizard. So definitely could look into something like that. Landorus is also an option. I think Landorus is totally underutilized as well. It's good into the Sun teams. You have to worry about Gastrodon specifically, but depending on your team, you could easily dispatch Gastrodon if you have Rillaboom, Kartana, grass coverage somewhere. Funnily enough, Landorus gets Grass Knot too, so if you wanted to be really cheeky, you can do that kind of thing and use Grass Knot Landorus to kind of get the Gastrodons after you max or something. Same thing goes for Thundurus. I think both Prankster and Defiant Thundurus are totally underutilized right now. And that might be due to the fact that just like Taunt is more popular, so you'd rather have a dark type Prankstermon like Grimmsnarl doing your thing. And so I think Thundurus just it's not ready for the format right now. I think that here in a few more weeks, probably Thundurus will probably start to pick back up again. Eerie Impulse and Scary Face are both very, very good moves. Notably, this thing also gets Rain Dance, just like Tornadus does. So if you're looking for like ways to beat the Sun team, this is how you're gonna do it. Is Prankster Rain Dance Thundurus probably. You could easily just do Eerie Impulse, Volt Switch, or Thunderbolt, Rain Dance, Scary Face, Prankster, Bulky. Go with that. I think that's something that you're going to have to utilize to maybe try and beat these Sun teams on teams that aren't necessarily the greatest into Sun. And that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed this kind of Series 12 meta review video. I think doing your research and learning these kinds of things are good to becoming better as a player. Knowing like what teams do, how teams work, is something that most players don't have time to do because they really focus on just playing the game and trying to team build and whatnot. It doesn't hurt to pick up these types of teams that are already predetermined to be good and powerful and just playing with them. Everybody's always inclined to use their favorites and use what they like. I think valuing just having a good, strong base to start with, something like the Sun team or Aaron Traylor's Rain version, I think can go a long way at helping you become a better player and a better team builder overall. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that like button, ring the bell for notifications for when new videos go live. It helps us out a lot. I've got a lot of live things planned for April coming out on Twitch and things like that. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that kind of stuff if you're interested in team building and or playing games. But yeah, hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at in the world. And we will see you all next week with another deep dive. Bye, everyone.